few Fridays ago, I get a text message from my housing management asking me if I've been paying my rent. To which I reply, yeah. And then they add me to a group message with a person claiming to be my landlord, threatening to repossess the apartment because they have not received rent from me. It's been a very trying past few weeks. Hello everyone, if you don't know me, I am Brianna. This is Brianna is Going Places, and I wanted to share with you the insane happenings of the past few weeks because this has been a housing nightmare and I hope that it does not happen to any of you. So heed my warnings, and also you don't know what you don't know, so maybe now you'll know a little bit better than I did. I already mentioned this in the intro, but just to recap, a couple of Fridays ago, December 8th, I got a message from my housing management asking me if I've been paying my rent. I reply, of course I've been paying my rent. And they add me to a group message on WeChat with my landlord, who I've never spoken to, never talked to before, never even seen their name before, saying this is the real landlord and she has not been receiving rent from you. Who are you, lady? I did not know who this was. I've never encountered this person before. So why is she all of a sudden threatening to kick me out of the apartment for rent that she hasn't received when I've been paying my rent? To understand that, I think we have to rewind a little bit, and let me tell you about a little bit about how apartment hunting works in China for a lot of people, including me. When you are renting an apartment in China, you usually have to go through an agent. Not always. If you're lucky, or if you know a lot of Chinese, or if you're just better than I am, you don't necessarily have to use an agent, but 9 times out of 10, people here are using agents to find apartments. These agents help you, show you different apartments, and in turn they get an agent's fee. Usually it's half a month's rent. So rewind back to last year when I was first apartment searching, which I do have videos about that I need to edit. Maybe you'll see those, maybe you'll never see those. But I was apartment searching and I had initially found an apartment that I really liked. It was a duplex, a loft, had a nice kitchen, had a balcony, and it also was roach infested. So I had to move out of there really quick. I went back to working with an agent who had shown me a few places before that I didn't really like, and then she showed me the apartment that I am sitting in right now. I really loved it and I decided to get it, and so she helped me arrange the contract. I paid my 2 months deposit, 2 months rent deposit, which was 10,000 kwai, another random 1,000 extra that they tacked on for whatever reason. I was like, whatever, I just need to move ASAP. And I paid her my agent's fee, which was a total of like 13,500 at once, maybe around 1,600 to 1,800 USD. I'll check the conversion rate and put it below. So I've been living in this apartment for the last year, and then in September I re-signed my lease because I like this place, it fits all my needs, and it's a cool apartment. I'm happy with it. Until a couple weeks ago when I get these messages. You can imagine my surprise when I get these messages. I was at school and when I got the first message about rent and then was added to the group message with my landlord. And let me just read to you the first messages that I received. I'm scrolling. They invited us to the message, hello, blah, blah, blah. The housing management introduces me to this landlord person and says, hello apartment owner, because now it's the landlord who gave it to the second landlord and the landlord hasn't received the rent. What's going on? I'm confused. You're confused, I'm confused. The landlord, I'd like to ask when you started renting my house. The agent who collected your rent and I haven't been given the rent since September 1st. This is a translation, so some of the grammar is a little bit weird. Please communicate with the person who pays your rent, or I'll take the house back and pursue the rent in breach of contract. Huh? This person that I've never talked to in my life before is saying this. Granted, my reply, I probably should not have replied so amped up because I was scared, but I was like, hello, I'm a bit confused. Are you the landlord of insert my apartment name here or another one? I can and will definitely reach out to them, but I feel a bit attacked because I've never heard from you, but I'm getting threatened. I've paid rent on time every month. This is when my housing management steps in. No, he is the landlord. You are docking is the landlord to the second-hand owner. Huh? Okay, that's fair. My reply. It's a little intense when I just heard about this 30 minutes ago. I've been in this place since last year. I'm not a new person. I recently signed a new lease. Is that when the issues began? So here I am trying to get to the bottom of it. Here the landlord is being like, I'll just read one more message, but I'll put the messages here so you can read. Not threatening you. I'm the landlord. You should ask the agency where your rent went. Why not give it to me? I'm the victim. Girl, first of all, who are you? So at this point, I was really nervous because I was like, is my housing management working with this random person to try to scam me? Like, are they trying to scare me that I need to get out of the apartment really quick or pay this money or else I'm gonna get kicked out of the apartment? So right now I'm thinking, okay, these random people are trying to scam me. I have never heard of them. What's going on? As the conversation goes on a little bit more, I'm starting to understand and put the pieces together. The person who I signed a contract with is like a middleman management company. Okay. The landlord, the real landlord, has not been receiving the rent that I've been paying to the middleman management company since I re-signed my lease. She can't get into contact with them. She's telling me, you need to get in contact with them. You need to deal with them, blah, 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 blah. I'm freaking out because she's saying she's going to repossess the house and I don't know if I'm going to have a place to live. It's Friday afternoon and I'm just getting all of these things thrown at me. It's a lot. So I went down to my school's HR and started showing them the messages and they were like, this is weird. They should not be talking to you about this. This is like their contract with the company. You're not involved with this. I've sent the landlord all the proof of that I've been paying the rent and still she's going on about how you need to contact them, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I will contact these people because I don't know what's going on. I want to get to the bottom of it as well. So I'm starting to reach out to the people that I've talked to every month all the time. These are the people that I know, who I've been communicating with, who I've been sending like screenshots to prove that I've paid the rent each month. And all of a sudden, they don't want to reply to me. I'm sending message after message. I'm calling. Nothing. Nothing at all. They are not replying to me. So that's when I'm like, okay, I do feel like the real landlord is the real landlord and these people are doing something shady. Why aren't they replying to me? So I add this person that I've been talking to, the middleman management company, into the group chat with my management company, like my housing management, my landlord, and me. And they're just in there not saying a word. I'm stressing out. I'm freaking out. The next day, and I'm just like, okay, I hope that we get these resolved. I hope these people can talk to each other because I'm just a foreigner. This whole conversation is happening in Chinese. I'm typing in English. Hopefully, we're hoping that WeChat translates everything correctly. During the conversation on Friday, the landlord's like, you can sign a contract directly with me and pay me a deposit and you can continue to live in the place, or you need to move out by Sunday. You have 2 days. So here I am trying to decide what to do, trying to really make sure that this is not a scam. And I've thought, oh, let me reach out to the initial agent that helped me find the place. So I reach out to this agent, and she's kind of trying to explain the situation to me. She's trying to communicate between me and the landlord and the second-hand management company. She's trying to do all these in between, and I'm like, okay, good, I'm getting my agency money's worth, because it didn't feel like I got my money's worth in the beginning when I first did this. And I was like, oh, should I add you to the group chat with her, because she just sent me this. This is the next day. We're on Saturday now. So that was all Friday. On Saturday, the landlord sends me a message saying, you need to decide what you're gonna do. You need to be out by Sunday. I send this to the agent who helped me find the place initially, and she's like, let me try to talk to her. Do you have her contact? This is when I add her into the group. I jumped ahead a little bit. She was trying to assure me, saying like, if she still has a contract with this company, she can't threaten you. She should not be threatening you with all of this. And she's trying to talk to the other company. She's sending me her conversations between her and the middleman management people. And I'm just like standing by, hoping for the best, trying not to cry and throw up the whole day. Eventually she gets back to me a little bit later. She's like, the landlords agreed to keep you there until the 15th, until the end of your regular contract, like when you usually would have to pay rent again, and you can wait until then to decide. So that's the next Friday. So over that weekend, I went and toured some other apartments. I talked to some other people. I tried to contact lawyers to see what was going on. And overall, I was just stressed out. This is my housing. Like, I am in a foreign country. I live in China. I don't speak the language. Who are they going to side with? Me or a local person? Probably a local person. And also, why is this happening to me? Like, over the course of the weekend and the following week, I'm just like, why is this happening to me? What did I do? Like, should I take this as a sign? Should I move into a hotel and just finish this semester of school and then just leave China after this? Because obviously I'm not welcome here. Obviously I'm not wanted here, and obviously I should not be here because all of this stuff is happening. Of course, when these things happen, we have those spirals. But the week went on. I reached out to some lawyers. I talked to some coworkers, because it is a very common thing in China for like people to run off and not get your deposits. But I have not heard of a situation like this where it's like a middleman company stealing from the landlord and I'm stuck in the middle. One of my coworkers was like, you might as well not go to the police. The police are gonna say it's a civil issue. There's nothing they're gonna do about it. You can reach out to lawyers, or your best bet is trying to talk to these people directly. And so I didn't go to the police. And then what I decided to do was, I'm gonna roll up on these people. I am going to go to where I sent my contract last, because I need to figure out what these people are doing. Let me fill in some blanks. Eventually, a couple days later, they did reply to me, and they're like, okay, the person who replied to me was basically like, okay, what we can do is we can send your deposit to your landlord in installments, and then you'll have the deposit to your landlord and you can stay there and sign a contract with your landlord. Why are you trying to send my money that you owe me to my landlord to probably fake it off and pretend that it's the rent? No, you need to send my money to me. You can send my money to me directly. They're like, it's all the same to us. We can send it to you. We can send it to the landlord. It's all the same. We do need to send it in installments because the company just doesn't have that money right now to send you. So we need to send it over like 3 months. You don't have the money to send me. You don't have the deposit that I sent to you. You don't have that money to send me. You need to send it over 3 months. Why should I trust you to do that? Why should I trust you to send me the money that you should have? What? So I'm going back and forth with them. They send me this electronic contract. They're like, okay, you can sign this release agreement and we'll send you the deposit eventually. No. No, 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 no. Every single contract that we've had before has been a paper copy. I want to sign a paper copy, and I also want the dates on there when you're going to send me my money. No reply. A day goes by, no reply. Another day goes by, no reply. Another day goes by, no reply. I keep following up. I'm like, hello, hello. I need to know how to be released from this contract. I need to know when you're going to send me my deposit. I need to know, hello, hello. Some days I would just say, good morning, hello. No reply. Eventually she says, you just need to sign this deposit. You just need to sign this release form and then we can talk about the deposit. No. We can talk about the deposit before I sign this release because you're going to disappear. You're going to disappear. I don't trust you. Obviously, you cannot be trusted because you're stealing from the landlord. You're stealing from me at this point. Like, what is going on with you guys? You guys are crumbling and I don't want a part of it. I just want my money back and to sign a paper contract so I can get a copy, a physical copy, because I like paper. So here's what I think happened, or maybe you have deduced this by now. I think somebody took a little bit too much off the top of this company and they've been using people's deposits or people's rents to pass forward. So like they were taking my rent. Oh, first, I think that when I re-signed my lease, because this all started with my new lease, September, my landlord hadn't been receiving her money. So I think that they just pretended I moved out and were pocketing it and were hoping she didn't find out. And in their defense, it took her a while to figure this out. I've been paying rent to them for like 4 months and then all of a sudden she's freaking out because she hasn't been receiving her money. Girl, stay on top of this. If I didn't have $5,000 coming in that I was expecting and there was no tenant, like, wouldn't you be a little bit more on top of it? But I digress. I digress. When you have money, you can do that, I guess. So, they were probably taking my rent. They probably owed somebody else a deposit. They were using my money to give their deposit. And then using my money to give somebody else their deposit. And now they don't have money. They're saying, oh, we need to get it over the course of a few months. They're taking somebody else's rent to pay my deposit back. That's what I think is going on. I think that they're crumbling. I think they need to be investigated. And I think that they need to give me my money back. So, anyway, that's some context. I decide I'm going to go in person to where I sent the physical contract back to them the first time around in September. So I'm like, let me roll up on them during lunch. They're going to be so shocked. They are not going to know what to do. And I'm just going to sign that contract and I'm going to get my deposit and then we're going to be happy with our lives. So I leave during my lunch period. I have an hour break. I'm like, okay, it's 15 minutes away. I'll go. I'll sign the contract real quick. We'll be done. First off, I could not find this place. It was so hard to find. The building that I thought it was going to be in only had 17 floors. They were supposed to be on like the 30-something floor. The first building I went into was a bust. Let's hope this building is correct. They do have 33 floors. The first one only had 17 floors. So, we'll see. Hope and pray for me that this is the correct place and that someone's there and then I can deal with this. I'm gonna be late getting back to work, but I'm gonna burst into tears if I can't get this resolved. So that was strike one. I visited multiple buildings. I could not find them. Eventually, it was almost time for my lunch to be over. At this point, I think my lunch was already almost over. And I asked the person, I was like, is this address in this building the front desk woman? And she's like, yes, you need to go to the 5th floor and transfer. It would have saved me a lot of a heartache had I asked. But I didn't want them to have any warning that I was coming. And I was scared that anything, if I had to check in or if they called or anything, then it would be a problem. This was not a maximum security place. There was no problem at all. So I go up to the floor where they're supposed to be, and I finally get to them. And I say, 我的中文不太好, 可以看一下? And I have the translation of, I want to cancel my contract and receive my deposit back. And I show it to the first person in there. And she's like, wait a second. And she tells me to sit down. And so I'm sitting there stewing, keeping on my mad face. She gives me a water bottle. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then a lady comes out and she's like, I think that you have the wrong place. Excuse me? You guys are not gonna lie to me. You're not gonna lie to me. Give me my money back. Let me sign my deposit. Let me sign this contract. Give me my deposit back. That's all I want. And she's like, we moved, this is all happening via translation. We moved into this place a couple months ago and maybe they just left. I said, can you tell me the name of your company? Because I'm like, you're not gonna lie to me. You're not gonna lie to me. I've been on this wild goose chase. You're not gonna lie to me. She wasn't lying to me. They had just moved into this place in November, last month. And I guess the other people had moved out. So I was like, great. So I had to go back to work and I was just really upset, crying in the car ride on the way home because I was like, these people have bamboozled me. They've taken my money. But I thought, oh, let me reach back out to my agent. She might have a more recent address. So I reached back out to her and lo and behold, she gives me the more recent address. So I'm like, okay, you know what? This is Friday, the next week, a week later, when my contract is supposed to be up. I'm gonna go back after school and I'm gonna figure out where they are. So I do the same thing. I go after school. I finally know. First I go to the 5th floor, then I go up to the 30s. They're still in the 30s, lucky them, living the high life, taking people's money. And that's what the correct address. I hope they're here. I go up to the floor where they're supposed to be. It's actually really confusing because you have to go through like this construction zone where I guess they're building new rooms or whatever. And then I go to this person and I see the woman and I say, oh, I'm sorry, my Chinese is not very good. Can you read this? And she reads it and she's like, I think you have the wrong place. I'm sorry, what? You think I have the wrong place? Is this not? And I take up the picture that shows the contract and she's like, oh, this is my place. I used to rent to them. They moved out like 2 years ago. They were here like 7 years ago to 2 years ago. That's how I felt. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, these people are evil. They know what they're doing. They are running away. They're getting away with people's money. Like, they're doing it. They know what they're doing. So luckily this woman spoke a little bit of English and I was like, you know, these people, I rented from them and they took my deposit, blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to find them. And she's like, wow, you're the second person who's come. There's a guy a few days ago who's come looking for them. Yeah, I'm not surprised. She's like, let me see if I can talk to the housekeeper to help you find them. I'm like, thank you so much. Like, it's very nice of you. Thank you so much. I'm so thankful to this lady for just like giving me the time of day and helping me. Like, she doesn't have to help me. Like, I'm just a random foreigner. But she called the housekeeper people, like equivalent to my housing management, who asked me if I was paying my rent. And she was like, let me see if I can find out if they moved somewhere, blah, blah, blah. She calls them, finds out they moved to another floor on the original building that I went to. I was like, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so appreciative of your help. Let me go get these people. She's like, go quick. You know, it's almost the end of the workday. At this point, it's like 5:45, 6. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try and go quick. So I go over there, go up in that elevator, go up to the 30s again. They're sticking around the 30s. And I go, I start banging on that door. It's dark inside. I'm like, they're probably hiding. Bang, 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 bang. There's no one there. They're gone for the day. They're gone for the day. They're gone for the day. I got an old address, and the lady there said a guy came a few days ago looking for the same people. So now the saga continues. I don't know what's wrong with people. And here I am, like, so frustrated. I'm like, okay, Brianna, it's okay. You know exactly where they are. I looked in the window. I'm like, okay, I actually see stuff in here. So this is good. One thing that made me feel better is that the first place I went was rather big. And then the second place I went was pretty big too. But the third place I went was small. So I'm like, okay, at least they're downsizing. At least they're trying to cut corners so that they can give me back my deposit. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that, because if you're going to scam, at least scam in a small space. Don't scam in a mansion. So I'm like, fine. I'm going to go. I'm going to just chill. At this point was the time I needed to decide whether to move or whether to stay. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I did some polls about, hey guys, what do you think I should do? Should I just stay in this place? I'm a little bit intimidated by this landlord because, you know, she came at me kind of sideways. But then I thought maybe it was also, could have been lost in translation. What I felt as threatening, maybe it was just her talking and the translation seemed threatening. So I was like, should I stay in this place with this new landlord that I don't know, but she kind of gave me a bad feeling right away? Or should I move into a new place where I can rent directly with the landlord and it would have a bigger kitchen? I was really stuck between staying in my apartment and moving to a new place in my same building. But ultimately, I decided I'm going to stay in this apartment. Also, it was more financially reasonable, because I had worked with the agent who had initially found me this place, and she had talked to the landlord and gotten the landlord to agree to allow me to pay a 1 month's deposit right away, right off the bat, and then pay my second part of the deposit in 3 months. So, you know, paying 10,000 RMB at once is a lot more reasonable than paying 15,000 RMB at once. I ultimately decided to stay in my place. And the landlord came on the next day to sign a contract directly with her. And actually the landlord was quite nice, and signing the contract went well. So I felt really relieved after talking to her, and also the agent had talked to her and she was like, oh, you can rest assured she's a nice person. So yeah, I got to see her in real life and check that her name was on the deed of the house to make sure this was not another scam, that I was renting directly from the landlord, and I was. And I am. So that was great, even though it kind of messed up my timeline. Now, you know, my lease was initially school year to school year. Now it's December to December, which ruins my plans for next year, but that's a problem for future Brianna. What isn't a problem for future Brianna, what's a problem for Brianna right now, is getting that deposit back. So last weekend I signed the contract with the new person, but I still haven't been released from my contract with the middleman company, and I still haven't gotten my deposit back. So I'm messaging them, they're not responding. So during lunch on Tuesday, I try again. I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna confront them, and I'm gonna get my deposit back. I am here again. This is my third time, hopefully my last time, because I need my money. I need my money, and which way do I need to go? Wrong way. I don't remember which way to go. I think this way. But yeah, this is my third time going, and hopefully this is the last time, because I can't come back here anymore. Here we go. This outfit is nice though. I was coming for a better reason. So I go over there. I know exactly where to go this time. 3604. I don't even care that I'm exposing them, because they need to be exposed. And I get up there and I bang on that door. And I bang, bang, bang. And no one's there. And when I look inside, it looks emptier than it did on Friday. Oh my God. When I came here on Wednesday, there were plenty of cameras. Now there's nothing here. Are you kidding me? So I got. I need to go to the police or something. Yeah, so this is actually crazy. It's a lot of money. These people are on the run, and they know how to do it. They know how to do it, and it's so frustrating to me, because like, I don't understand. I just don't understand that kind of life, to just steal from people. Like, I'm not a rich person. Maybe if I was richer, I would understand you stealing from me. Well, probably not personally, but as a concept, I would understand. But like, that's my money. That's like, I had to scrape that little bit together to give 2 months rent deposit. Like, that's a big amount of money, especially when you're first moving here. And so now I have a deposit with this company. I paid half a deposit with my new landlord, and I need to pay another, finish out paying that deposit with my new landlord. So total, I'm out like $3,000. Something's got to give. So this is where I am now. I have signed a new contract with my landlord, and I'm just waiting like a sitting duck for these people to respond to me. I don't know if I can go in person anymore because every time they're not there. I don't know if they're moving out or what. And when I've talked to lawyers, they were like, I mean, you can try to sue, but it's probably going to cost as much as your deposit. Ugh. Well, it's the principle. At this point, I really do want to sue them. My landlord is suing them to get her rent back that they just stolen from her. And yeah, I just feel like a sitting duck. It's really frustrating. I have decided that I am going to go to the police because one of my local Chinese friends told me, yeah, you should just go, you know, if they're doing this to multiple people, at least it's on record. And even though it's so scary, I don't want to go to the police. Like, everything here is such a struggle because it's just like an added layer of like, I have never been to the police before in the United States. So now I'm having my first police experience. And then on top of that, it's in a totally different language. I'm going to have to translate. Like, that's so scary. And like, I haven't even been to the doctor here because like, just the idea of it is just too much, and I just don't want to deal with it. Let me just take some medicine, you know? So yeah, that's where I am. Unfortunately, this story is not resolved. Unfortunately, they still have my money and they're still not talking to me, and technically I'm still in a contract with them, and I'm scared that they're going to come back and be like, you owe us money because you're in a contract with us, you should be paying us rent, even though we're scamming people. Like, I don't know if they have that much audacity. Hopefully they're smart enough to lay low, because if I see one of them, I'm not going to actually tussle. I'm not a tussler. I wish I was. But yeah, this is my warning. In China, it is very common to have agents. There's an agent for everything here. That's a joke that I've made so many times with being here. Like, you can have a fruit guy. Like, somebody's like, oh, anybody know where I can get some nuts? And people are like, oh yeah, here's this nut guy. He's like sells the best nuts. Or, oh, I need like someone to clean my air conditioner. Oh, here's an air conditioner guy. There's an agent, there's a guy, there's somebody for everything. And so even if you have to use an agent to find your apartment, try your best to sign directly with the landlord. I made the mistake. I initially thought that the company that I signed with was the landlord. I thought it was like in the US, you know, where there's like a big residential building and the residential building owns the things, owns the units. So you're renting from this residential management company. I didn't realize there was just a middleman between me and my landlord, which is so silly to me. But that's one of the things about living here. Everybody has to have a job. Everybody has to have a job. So a lot of these jobs are created so everybody has to have a job, which I don't hate, but I do hate when it's something like this where, why are you in the middle? For what reason? Why do I have to send you my money to send to somebody else? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, this is my warning. Sign directly with your landlord if you can. Be wary of middleman companies, and hope that I get my deposit back. If you've had something like this happen to you in China, let me know in the comments. I know so many foreigners and also Chinese people who have gotten their deposits stolen from them from landlords for whatever inane reason. It's tough out here. We all have to have a place to live, and it's so annoying that people are willing to take advantage of that. But some people just suck. Not everybody, not you watching this video, but some people do. Thanks for watching. Thank you for letting me rant, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your week, and a good rest of your life if I never see you again. Bye. Bye. Baby, bye, 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 bye. Let me know if you want me to do an apartment tour. I've been saying that I need to do it and I need to keep my apartment clean to do it, but I cleaned my apartment recently, so I should film that, right? Let me know if you want to watch it. Only if you want to watch it, I'll post it. If not, then why should I post it, you know? Baby, bye, bye, bye.